Hey, how's it going? Jess here. I'm coming to you in the middle of one of my most favorite things to do. When I need a little break from using my brain, from not really using my brain because I absolutely am using my brain, but just need a little break from the things that are happening in life. I always resort to playing cards, whether it's solitaire, free cell. I usually like that I can play with like actual cards. I have this really great game. It's called Five Crowns, and it's supposed to be well, you generally play it with a bunch of people, but there's a solitaire route, and so each hand you get um, wild cards. So there's jokers are always wild, and then you play rounds three through king. And for each round, you get that number of cards. So when you play round one, you play with threes. Where threes are wild, you have three cards in your hand. Round four is four cards in your hand, fours are wild, so on and so forth. So when you get to 11 cards in your hand, jokers are wild, 12 cards in your hand, queens are wild, and 13 cards, kings are wild. And the whole point is to be able to make excuse me, I have the hiccups, excuse me, straights of the same suit or threes for, excuse me, fives of a kind, etc. And so as you go, it gets easier and more difficult. You know, like fives are really difficult because you either have to have a really long straight or you have to have five of a kind. The nice thing is there's enough cards in order to be able to do that. But this type of pull away from everything else that I'm doing, this is my favorite thing to do because I'm still engaging my brain, right? It's like if you're sit down to read a book or if you're coloring or things along those lines, you're engaging your brain still, but just on a different level and a different playing field. And I think that's so important that a lot of us forget to do that, right? I do a lot of personal professional development, so I'm constantly reading. I'm always, doing some sort of activity in a book or things along those lines. So sometimes it's good to just be able to pluck myself out of my normal, regular things and sit down at a table of cards. See, I really need this. And really just look at things from a different perspective. What I find is that because this game is so strategy based, I can then come in and look at problems that I was facing before in a totally different way. So I'm going to challenge you to really find something that you can do to help switch your brain to a different channel, a different frequency, whatever you want to call it, especially when you're having those problems, and then come back to whatever it is that you were dealing with and maybe stuck on and see if you're looking at it from a different perspective, a different viewpoint. Because I think it is so vitally important to get out of our head space sometimes into a different realm, a different area, however you want to call it. So I would love it if you would tell me how it goes, what your thoughts are, what your go-to get out of your headspace is, and share below. Feel free to share this video if you know somebody that needs to hear about this kind of mindset or this game, because I totally think everybody should be able to play Five Crowns. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.